Welcome to Drew's farming life. I hope you enjoy. Yeah.
Alright guys, what's happening? Hulk Hogan here. Wait. Drew's Farming Life is back again today. Hope you enjoyed today's video. We've got a new seed drill, and then later on I'm going up with the plough to the big hill and going to be doing some dangerous ploughing, just where we have to turn the plough on the steep hill. It's quite easy to maybe cope the tractor. There has been a couple of scares in the past, and we had big hold-ups this morning with having to shift calves around, to muck out the stable, move the stable round into this shed here, so they're just behind there in a big pen we've made, and then we had to move the byre into the stable. So there's a big morning of bedding up, shifting calves and whatnot, and now I need to go turn points on the plough. But it's just what happens when you live in a mixed dairy farm. So here's the calves in the pen. So aye, right, give it away a look. Right, we'll give you a wee look at this seed drill. So we bought it last week. Calves think they're getting fed, so got it last week. Got an Amazon disc drill 2016. All the bells and whistles, even though Dad probably won't use the tram lining. He doesn't see the point because we don't need to spray off and whatnot, so you'll see towards the end of the year what we mean. If we do need to spray, it's usually earlier on in the year. You go in, you flatten it, and then it regrows, and then later on in the year we don't need to spray it. I know some other folk will spray later on in the year, but we don't need to because we put our barley straight into the bruiser and then it gets put straight in the shed. It doesn't, the moisture content's quite high, and then it gets happed. So that's what we do, and then with the tram lines not being there, we get, I think we've worked it out before, a trailer load more of barley per year, just from not growing, just from growing barley where the tram lines would be. So it's a heavy duty per harrow. The signs are needing changed, that's the only thing. 2016 plate, and it's only sown around 2,000 acres apparently. The guy that had it before used it for 2 or 3 years, said it took about 2 weeks to sow. Now he just gets a 6 metre drill in, hires it in, and it only takes a week or a few days now. So that was a big thing for him, but bonus for us because he was selling this. Our old drill was doing just fine. It was only £300 when we bought it. We just put it on the back of our old Rabbie per harrow. We adapted it so it would fit on, and well, the discs were all starting to get a bit gubbed. I've had it a few years, it worked away, and then all the pipes that run the barley down were starting to wear, and a lot of holes started. So that's why we've just decided to upgrade. So that's what we've done. So Dad will be using the 70-40 for planting. He loves this tractor, and he loves the big wide wheels on it for less compaction, which is a major thing. as most folk will know, the less compaction in the ground, less compaction in the ground allows for better roots, you know, because it allows the roots to get deeper and whatnot. Still waiting on offers for the grain tower. Does anyone want it? Don't need it. These are the new guys in the stable. Nice, clean, fresh bedded. Happy, happy. Just had to do a big shift. I just got to that time. Right. Time to change the points. Well, turn the points. Well worn. I think I've done about 70 acres or something, so maybe just less than that, I'm not sure, to be honest, because I've done 4 fields, 3 fields unfinished, 1 field completed, so it's hard to tell how much I've done. And I've just noticed that I'm in need of a new moldboard, so I'll be getting these changed after this year. That'll do for now, but we've got our money's worth out of this one. Well, these two. Well worn like. See a difference, eh? Unreal. Right, one side done. Now to flip it over and do the other side. Ah, idiot. Change the direction of it, you muppet. Should have tightened that right up as well. The bit in the end of the gun's buggered, so the socket doesn't stay on it, it keeps falling off, so watch out for that. But aye, that's all the points turned out. Now I can go ploughing. Let's check this moldboard. Nah, nowhere near as bad as that one. Right, the plough's looking good. I gave it a good grease earlier, so I am ready to go. That noise you're hearing is the grain tower bin in here getting filled. Grain tower? Cake tower, the bin. It's getting filled up with well, cake for the young calf. Right, get out of there, it's a bit stoury. But basically, the lorry blows it straight up into the tower, and then it lands in there, and then there's a wee exhaust that lets all the air out. That bin is ancient, but because it's in that shed, I believe that's why it's lasted this long. But aye, handy enough in there, out the way. These are the tines we've got that have to go in that drill. The ones round the back are probably where my pinky is, so it just shows you how much they've worn. So before we get going with any form of drilling, we'll need to put them on. But the weather the last few days has been quite interchangeable, in the sense that it has been well, frosty. So like last night it was -3 and this morning there was a fresh skittering of snow, so that wouldn't have helped the barley. If it was emerging, you know, frost kind of slows it down, kills it. So, and it's to be -2, -3, etc. for I think the majority of this week actually, but I'm not sure. The weather's always changing, but it's not been above 10 the last couple of days during the day, but when it gets frosty and cold at night, you're kind of glad the barley's not in and emerging at this point in time. But I dare say it wouldn't hurt it that much, but it's always said that it's better getting a good start. So, right, I better get going. Let's get the plough in the ground. Forgot today was Monday, and the guy that usually milks the cows is off today. Today's Monday, so this video will hopefully be up tomorrow if I edit it quick enough. So the guy that usually milks the cows is off. We've got the relief milker in today, so I need to chase the cows round, and because it's Monday I need to bed up. So this thing's a gaff, it cleans the cubicles. It's basically scrapes all the dirt from the cows, and then after I've done all this and chased all the cows out, I'll need to I need to go and get some lime in a pail and spread it all over the backs of these cubicles, and that will kill all bacteria in the cubicles, and it leads to a reduction in potential mastitis cases. We lime almost every day. I know that's a bit of overkill, but you're better to be doing that and getting little to no mastitis than dealing with mastitis. These are Dad's old homemade cubicles. At the time it was quite a good idea. They all were up like Easy Care. Not Easy Care, they Flexi cubicles. They're basically what he designed, and then the bull wrecked them. So, but aye, I'll get these coos out. Like silage. So I'll get the coos out, and then I'll get bedding up, and well, lime up first, and then bed. Dad's design a pin that goes in a hole. Chase this shed out first, and then go into the old shed, bring them out, and then chase them out, here and then shut the big gate. So these are coos and the new cubicles. Go on then, up. Good. Go on then. Go on then. Up. Out. The new cubicles are looking well. I was milking yesterday morning. The cows are absolutely loving this shed in the morning. And then at night they all seem to lie up in the open shed for some reason. But they love this shed. Seems to be very comfy. Dry cows are enjoying their side, looking comfy, lying flat out. Hoping to get our brush back up and going for the cows. The cows love the brush, but it got wrecked. So I'll need to get it back up again, because it makes a difference to the cows. They really do clean up nicely. So just the top half of here, and then the feed passage to chase out. And a nosy heifer coming. Hello. Stewery stuff. Right, this is what we use. Blended hydrated lime. Bolshaw. Let's get these cubicles all lined up. It's easier to work with pails rather than doing it out the bag. Not sure how other folk do it, but this is the way we do it. I know there's other machines you can get that will bed up and lime at the same time, but this way it works for the now. Not sure how expensive they things are too. Now you might think these cubicles might not work, but the cows do tend to lie up different in them. Well, they don't lie across the top of them, so works quite well. They stay separated. Hopefully I'm done by the time that gets to the top. Save shoving it with a scraper tractor. Right, now that's all done. Not that light really, but you can end up a bit like a snowman doing that job. So now that's done, I can go bed up now, scrape up a wee bit, but I'm not going to show you that because you've seen it before in some of my other videos. So I'll catch you at the Plough when I get to it. This is ridiculous, it's just the way it goes. What can you do? The only time you're undisturbed is at night time. just the joys of being on a dairy farm. Well, it's been a beautiful sunny day till now, but clouds are starting to come over and there's a wee drop of snow coming in. I don't know if you can see it or not, it's like very fine flakes, but there's definitely some snow. Just wee tiny speckles. Just typical Scotland. Unreal. You'd have thought by now we would have been past this, but obviously not. Alright, I feel like I need to explain the handlebars. I thought it would be funny, that's about it. I had a goatee, then I decided, no, actually, I got told to shave. And I thought, okay, I will shave. And then I done that. I was like, I did shave. But there you go, that's the only reason I done it, just because I thought it's funny. And I don't really care, I just like having a laugh, so that's why I've done it. So I also feel like I need to explain why I've got 3 fields nearly finished and only 1 completed out of 4 fields that I've started. So this field here, most of you will ken that there was a big puddle there and the drain was in the middle. It's getting dry enough to get through it, and then the grass field up there, well, it could be finished now as well. Like, well, no, it can't be till the drain's all filled in. I caught up with Dad, you know, he dug that huge trench in one of my other videos, and but then the big hill didn't get that completed because of bad weather, and then also getting dragged back to drains. Just the way things go, you never get to keep going. I don't think I've ever had a full day at just ploughing. That would be magic. Yeah, just to be able to keep going, that would be absolutely fantastic. But it just doesn't seem to happen here. I'm not sure if any other farms are the same, but well, I'm sure a few will be, but definitely the case here is I can't get on. So in this field here, I'll get back to it, but I really want to finish that hill in case it comes wet again and then I don't get the chance to, then I get held back again. But aye, so hopefully get that done, and then I'll move on to this field, and then I'll move down to that field, and then I've got two fields up the road spread dung in. Hopefully Dad gets to do that, so that I can get on with the plough, but more than likely I'll have to do it and he'll just jump in the seeder and get it going. Which is fair enough, but oh well, just busy times. Just the way the weather goes, but at least the grass is growing, that's the main thing. Get some silage for the coos, then hopefully we'll get that big M up and running and get the silage cut with it. I'm very looking forward to that. It'll be a good laugh. So this is the sandy bank here, and then steep drop down to the burn. You'll see in a minute when the plough starts turning over just how sandy it is. It's really nice soil here. My grandfather said they used to grow tatties over here. But aye, very sharp drop there. My grandpa actually went in there with a digger a few years ago to rip out all of the bushes that were growing in there, just to make it a grass bank again. But aye, so the problem is when we're going up here is you know, up the top, to turn the plough up the top, it's you lift the plough out the ground and can be just a little bit too sharp and cause if you're not careful, you can quite easily count the tractor. It was a lot worse with the previous tractor. This thing at least has a bit more weight, but you still do get a scare. It just depends on the angle. It's not too bad at this angle this year, but there are other years when it's just that little bit more facing the wrong way. for turning the plough, causing it to swing more. See there, look at that. Look at the colour of that. Absolutely beautiful. Crumbling. And then it changes again, but down there's all beautiful sand, like. Yet again, just another one of these awkward corners. Somebody asked me why we don't set it aside and then get paid for it. Like, we've never, it's awkward, but we still do it. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, I don't see a point in, well, you're farming, just get on with it. It's just the way it is, just get on with it. If we were to do that with every field we'd have, there wouldn't be very much of the farm left. So, see, this is where it gets the problems, you know. You're up here, you're going uphill, and then you're turning on an angle. It is a bit deceiving actually, but it is very steep. Have to go all the way up this hill in 10 on this. Just kill the tractor, like. But the further down you go, the worse it gets, and then the worst bit's down there. It just seems to be like that, and then it gets ever so slightly less steep. But aye, so you get up here. It's not as bad at this point, but you still have to be careful lifting the plough, because if they're set too wide, the plough lifts out, swings round, and it could take the tractor with it. But I don't have it set that it's got that much play. But further down I go, I'll need to make sure and lift the plough gently. I'll not be using these the further down the hill I go. Oh, come on, turn. And then turn the plough before I move. Because, aye, turn the plough before you move, don't turn the plough on the go. Just be very careful. Even to drive into this bit, see the tractor's, and at this point it's quite steep and all. You can feel the tractor wanting. But just to be very careful with it. But then, actually talking about the set aside bit, well, I don't know if it's ever been put in as set aside kind of idea, but I suppose that would class as one of the bits because it's unworkable. Well, I suppose it is, but you would not want to put the combine in there. Lose the combine, which would not be a very good idea. So, yep, that's a problem. So I'll do wee updates the further down I get, just to show you how bad it does get. But at the moment it's still pretty bad, but not as bad as it gets, just especially towards the end there. You know, you're not very high, but it's still quite capable of cowping the tractor. But this tractor is heavier and more sturdy than my old one, the 6070. It was a smaller chassis, but even still, you're lifting all that weight up in the back. Just imagine if that was a bigger plough, you need to be even more careful. just got to look after yourself. Look after yourself, that's why, well, farming is one of the most dangerous industries to work in, so just be sensible and look after yourselves. Look who has all came to join me. Go away. Oh, hate them. They always manage to land their dirty droppings all over the windows. It's going not too bad so far. Having to make my heat drag here and stop going down there so I can get round. So I've got all of this S-bend and a way up round heat drag to start dealing with. Someone was asking what a heat drag is. Heat drag is Scottish for headland, basically. I've always called it a heat drag because that's what Dad called it, so entirely up to yourselves what you call it. I don't know what other folk call it. I'm sure it's heat drags as well, but I'm sure it's Scottish. Never heard anyone else call it that other than headland, but that's just the way it is. So just stupid awkward heat drag to do after I finish this. The other night I ploughed the opposite sides. Well, I should have done the headland round there, but I'm just going to do it all at once. I can't be bothered. It was just really dark by the time I finished over the top of the big D in there, so it was just silly wee short runs, and the time of night it was, I was like, nah, got coos to feed in the morning. No, I was actually milking in the morning. That was yesterday. No, 2 days ago. I was milking after. So I was like, I've got coos to milk, so I was as well finishing at that time and then getting my coos milked at 4. I don't do the milking that often, it's just the bloke was off, so I done one morning and then Dad done the next morning and then that was that. So, but just a pain, but needs to be done. It's a shame he got off when it was so dry, but it was meant to be pissing it with rain at the weekend there, but it never came. It was only a wee drop on Sunday there, so thank goodness for that. But just typical. It's getting that hard. It's getting hard for the last fur to stay in, so it's now starting to fall back into the hole a wee bit. Not too bad though, but still not handy. I'm now getting into the steeper part, so what I'm doing is I'm leaving it unturned so that the weight of the plough is leaning up the hill, and then when I get to my fur, the shuck, I start turning it. So like I here the now, just being careful. It's alright the now, but see just there, that's the worst bit. That's when I'll need to turn it when I'm up the hill. The now it's not too bad, but just there you can probably see it. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see how steep it is. That's when I'll need to start doing extra careful turning of the plough. The other side was quite bad as well, but this is the worst of it. Over there you're probably not as careful because you're not expecting it, but this side you just need to be that little bit more extra careful with just the way the ground lies. But no, plough's going away just fine. Looking good. What do you think of that then? Brilliant level first, I believe. Back down to this arse of a head rig. And all these trees. Look at that, beautiful stuff. I believe I've got the plough set up pretty good. Awfully happy. There's none more satisfying than knowing your plough's doing a good job and that you have set it up to do that. Now you might be wondering why the front two moldboards are worn more than the rest from earlier when I was talking about it. Basically, well, not pointing any fingers, but for years the plough was never set up that well, so the front would always dig more, which then in turn causes the front to wear more than the rest of the plough because it's digging and doing a harder job. But it is very hard to set up a plough. So then I went to a plough match training and they taught me the basics, and from there I've been trying to learn more and more. You're always learning when you're ploughing. I'm never going to claim to be the best, but you learn as you go along more, and then if you go to plough matches you'll learn more by seeing what other folk are doing. I like going to plough matches, but not been able to do that for a few years. That big stone back there, seen it lift it there out of the back foot. So I get into, there's the worst state there. I'm at the tip of it, but that last run was, aye, wasn't very nice. Ah, wheesht. So it's just, aye, probably see it there. Not going to be very nice. Might have to drive on top of the ploughing, unfortunately. So just gently. It's not this part that's the problem, it's once you've turned and getting back in. Don't know if you can tell or not, the tractor's leaning quite a bit, which is why I've kept that plough up there on that side. Nearly there. The next run will be worse. Safe once the plough's in the ground. That. We'll just need to see how this run goes. Just getting worse. So, you know, you're not that high, it's just the awkwardness of it that makes it as dodgy like. still can't believe Papa ploughed that. Unreal. Aye. Just one of the joys of the farm. Once the plough's turned, it seems to be alright, you know. There's a bigger tractor, but you've definitely still got the risk. Shut up, I'm talking. Aye, nah, the heavier tractor helps with that. Definitely makes a difference from the last tractor. Bit more stability. However, there is still that risk because you do feel the tractor wanting to go. But I've not had that many scares with this tractor, thank goodness. But you just need to be careful and look after yourself, as I said before. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll catch you all next time. Please remember to subscribe, follow, leave a like, and whatever. Follow, subscribe. Already said subscribe. Bye. No, please remember to do all of those things, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much, guys.
That concludes today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Good night.